Alright, so I've gone crazy again. And I decided that it needs an air extraction hood. I got these hood cowl pieces. Now originally I thought they were going to go something like this. These are for, I believe it's for a 2006 F350. I think that's what these were designed to fit. And I thought that, it would look kind of cool up here somewhere. The trouble is they're almost a, like if you look at the edges, it's almost like a parallelogram where you've got this and this. Well, not a parallelogram, but you understand what I'm saying. It's not straight, it's not square, and it kind of bows in the middle. So this is meant to fit, a hood that's got a little bit of a curve to it. Anyway, I thought it would look cool with it in the middle like this, but because they taper so severely from this side to the other, what you end up getting is kind of this V shape in the middle where they want to look like they're tilted one way or the other, even though they're on there kind of straight. And I figured they'd kind of follow the lines of this hood, this crease here on the side. So anyway, long story short, I decided to mount them here. So I cut a pretty big hole on this side. You can actually, as you're driving, you can see the light through here from the headlights, which I kind of get a kick out of that. Anyway, so I used epoxy to mount this one, and now it's time to do the other side. Where I have this marker is the area that I cut out on the other side, so I cut a much bigger hole on the other side. But the reason I cut a smaller hood this time, a smaller hole in the hood this time, is because, as you can see, I'm awfully close to the hinge there. So I cut a pretty big chunk. I know that looks nasty, and I'm going to clean it up and paint it from the inside. I'm going to have to repaint the whole hood again anyway. So on this side, I decided to not cut into this bracing as much. I just thought, better safe than sorry. So that's what it looks like on the underside. The other reason I put them here is because since this side of the hood is lower than the middle, I figured it would kind of blend in a little better, or look more, I don't want to say look more factory, but it would be recessed just a little bit, and I don't think it would be quite as pronounced, which is kind of what I was going for. Originally, my idea was, I really like the type of bulge they put in the hood on a BMW M3, like around a 2010, 2011-ish M3 BMW has that kind of subtle hood bulge. It's not real crazy, it's just enough for you to take notice of it. I know this doesn't look anything like that, but that was kind of my inspiration, is what I'm getting at. And I didn't want to put scoops on the car, or a big hood scoop on it. I didn't want it to make it look like hyper aggressive or anything. So when I saw these, I thought, okay, well, these are scoops, but I'm going to turn them around, turn them into vents, and once I paint it all white, hopefully it'll be a lot more subtle. It obviously doesn't look very subtle right now, but anyway, sheet metal's pretty thin. I was actually surprised how easily this cuts. This, just with a cut-off wheel, this cut it out rather quickly. And, of course, it makes a huge freaking mess, like everything else. But I was debating on painting this before I attached it to the hood, but my concern was that as I kind of wrestled around with it to get it to bond here, here, and here, I was going to crack the paint anyway. There was going to be a little bit of epoxy, which I know you can't see it very well because it's wet, but there's a little tiny bit of epoxy that bulges out from the underside. So I was going to have to sand that down anyway. So I arrived at the conclusion, put them on black, then primer them, and then repaint the whole hood. This hood is a little... It turned out okay, but it wouldn't hurt to throw another coat of paint on it. I mean, that's not going to hurt anything. So I still have about 3/4 of a gallon of this white paint, so I've got plenty to spare. Anyway, that's the update. I don't know if I'm going to regret this or not. So far, I'm liking it. I think once it's painted, it'll look a lot better, because right now this, you know, it looks really pretty chintzy right now, but once it looks like it's a part of the car, I think it'll give the car a very different effect. So anyway, that's the update.